Hi guys, it's Squishy Boba Forever, and today I'm back with another Among Us squishy tutorial. If you haven't yet watched my past 3 videos, then I'll leave the playlist in the description box below. I'll also leave all the materials I used, so let's get started with the tutorial now. To start off, I'm using memory foam that I bought from Amazon, and I'm going to cut this into the shape of a cylinder. Afterwards, I'm going to round off the top. And then I'm going to create the legs by cutting 2 lines and pulling out the middle section. And then I'm going to create a dent in the shape of a U to separate the body and the legs. This process is very similar to the earplug squishy tutorial, so check that one out if you want to make a mini version. So I also created the oxygen tank, which is just a square, and the visor, which is an oval. And I glued those with fabric fusion. Then for the hat, I chose to make the leaf because many of you guys requested it in the comments. All you have to do is draw the leaf with a Sharpie and then cut around it. You can glue this on with either fabric fusion or puffy paint. I'm going to paint 3 layers of this orange paint, and each layer takes about 3 hours to dry with a fan. Also, don't forget to paint the leaf. For the visor, you want to paint the entire thing a light blue color, and then on the bottom paint it a dark blue like I'm doing right now, and at the top paint it white. Now I'm adding the details on the leaf, and I'm using a darker green color for this. And here's the finished crewmate squishy with the leaf hat. Of course, you can make whatever hat you want for it and customize it with clothes. Next, I'm going to move on to the imposter, and this one was so fun to make. I shaped it the same way as I did with the crewmate, and now I'm going to cut this a little below half. Then I'm going to create a small dent on one of the edges, and this is so that I can stick it to the bottom half. So it should look something like this, and I'm going to glue this down with puffy paint now. Afterwards, I created the oxygen tank, and I'm gluing that with fabric fusion. Also glue down the visor. And I'm using rubber bands to keep these in place so that it doesn't lift up. Next, I'm cutting the teeth of the imposter, and to do this, I'm cutting several small cubes. Then I'm going to cut each cube one by one into the shape of a cone. I also created a longer cone for the tongue. Shaping the teeth was probably the most tedious part. Now I'm just gluing down the tongue with puffy paint. While that dries, I'm going to cut the hat. So it looks something like this. And after the tongue is dry, I'm going to paint this entire squishy purple. I'm coloring the visor a light blue like I did with the crewmate. This is the brand of puffy paint I use. It's by Tulip, and it's called Tulip 3-dimensional fabric paint. As long as you follow my magic number of 3 layers of puffy paint, your squishy will turn out slow rising. Then I'm going to paint the inside of the mouth black. This is my worst nightmare. Be careful when you're painting this and don't make the same mistake as me because black paint is hard to get off. Just like I did with the crewmate, I'm going to shade the visor dark blue on the bottom and highlight it white at the top. I painted the teeth white off camera, so I'm just going to pluck these out. Once you're on the 3rd layer of the black paint, you want to start gluing down the teeth, and of course you want to glue it down while the black paint is still wet. And finally, I'm going to glue down the hat with fabric fusion. You can also use puffy paint to glue it down. And finally, here's the finished imposter. This looks so cool. It's 100 times better than the crewmate squishy in my opinion. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you haven't already watched my other Among Us squishy tutorials, then I'll leave the playlist down in the description box. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!